Our goal as a band and as a ministry is to challenge people to be the change that they want to see. People want to see change in their country, in their world, in their communities, in their churches, but really people, whether they want to admit it or not, want to see change in themselves. And the only way that happens is by the renewing of your mind through Jesus Christ. We want to bring the message of Christ to people in a way that's relevant to them without jeopardizing the gospel. Right now we're working on this project, the All of Me project. And this project was born out of a time of just brokenness. A time of, for me, just not knowing where God was taking me, not knowing where I was in life. And God had to bring me to a point where, I was willing to say, God, if I never picked up a guitar again, I'm okay with that. And God had to bring me to a point where I was willing to lay everything down for Him and say, Lord, take all of me. It's for your glory that I live my life. And that's something that we as believers, throughout this world have to be willing to give up, willing to come to that point of sacrifice and saying, God, whether, if it means giving up a car, giving up a lifestyle to follow you, whatever that may be, Lord, just take all of me. And some of the other tracks on this project, are, for me, like one song, Greater Is He. I was, just kind of going through that point in my life where just nothing really seemed to make sense, but there was a pastor at the church I was going to at the time who would say, greater is He who is in us than who is in the world. After, it felt like almost every sermon, but that was such a crucial, uplifting point for me, was just remembering that, I'm not doing this by myself. There is a reason behind this. What better way to bring the message of change and revolution and the gospel of Christ to people than through music? We have these silly jingles that we hear on TV, and I know there's a few that are popping into my head right now that just, they're silly, pointless jingles on commercials, but they stick in your head and you remember them. What better way to bring the message of change and the message of Christ to people, but through that same medium?